Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started because we have a wonderfully full schedule of over 30 presentations by project proposers. So welcome to Project Review Day. It's a very exciting day because this is really the promise of TCC coming to reality. We have a room full of people, almost entirely not just the city, but people of Fresno who are proposing projects to make Fresno a better place. And that's the point of this entire process, so it's very exciting. Before we go forward, I want to introduce our translators. Come on up front. To make sure if there's anybody who needs interpretation that they have it.
Nhớ rằng là nó cũng lúc bây giờ Caroline giờ hay đến đây lúc thứ tôi họ nói này và sản nó xài ở lồng mông nó chỉ nên chỉ của nó giờ tôi xài lồng mông thôi nó.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Si alguien necesita traducción en español, tenemos dispositivos disponibles afuera de la sala y estamos aquí para servirles. Good evening to everyone. If anybody brought a Spanish speaker along with you, please let them know that we do have headsets available to facilitate with translation.
Thank you very much. My name is Steve, or altogether Steve Rasmussen-Kansian, and along with
Danielle Bergstrom.
We are going to be your MCs tonight, but importantly, we're going to speak very little except for the next few minutes of introduction. Because tonight is the beginning of the final stage of the process of the community creating the TCC plan. So tonight is about learning about the over 30 projects that are being proposed. Next week, the next steering committee meeting is going to be about packaging projects, taking the individual pieces and turning them into proposed plans. And then the final steering committee meeting on October 4th is going to be about voting which plan to select and recommend to the mayor. So tonight is about learning. Next week is going to be about packaging or creating plans. And then finally, October 4th is going to be when the steering committee votes. So importantly, in a moment, we're going to start a progress through over 30 presentations so you can learn about each of the proposals. There's also 30 displays over in Nunley Hall. And after each presentation, the presenters will go over to Nunley Hall so you're able to talk with them and get additional information and also give them input on their projects. So that's what tonight is actually about. You get to listen to the presentations, you get a chance to interact with the proposers and learn all you need to know about the individual projects. Just to be clear, what it's not about tonight, this isn't a steering committee meeting. We're not making any decisions or voting on anything. And for that reason, you'll see we're not going to be having discussion in this room. The discussion will be over in Nunley Hall as you ask individual questions. Next week will be a steering committee meeting where the community will be deliberating together. So in a moment, each speaker who are sitting over here, and if you're a speaker and you've found a seat elsewhere, please come join the speakers over on this side end. Each speaker is going to have 4 minutes. They're going to get a verbal warning at 1 minute. I'm going to be completely strict with them. I'm going to stop them at 4 minutes. No, similarly, I have to be strict with everybody else as well. We really can't do questions and answers here in the room, or we won't get a chance to hear all 30 plus presentations. So just know it's not about the topic someone's speaking on that I stop them, or the question you ask that I'm going to have to ask you to take the question into Nunley Hall. We've got to follow our rules closely tonight in order to give everyone an equal chance. We don't want the 31st or second presenter to be talking to an empty hall because it got too late. And so then just lastly, we were realizing, Danielle and I, as we started to plan the final details, that sometimes you might be wondering, well, where's the vision? Well, so the TCC process asks us to break our vision down into pieces that are fundable. And that's what you're hearing about tonight, all the different pieces that are fundable by TCC. Next week, it's all of our charge together and all the steering committee members' charge to put those pieces together back into the vision. So if you have a broader vision and you're not seeing it represented tonight, we'll look for the pieces of it. And then next week at the steering committee meeting, we'll reassemble the pieces into the vision we hope to create. So with that, I want to pass the mic on to Danielle just to give you a little bit of background on the projects they're going to hear about, and then we'll move right into presentations.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. We're really, really excited to be at this point in the process tonight. We have over 35 projects that are going to be presented to you tonight. Every single project that's being presented tonight is here because it could be real. We have been really careful to make sure that projects that advance in our process have components that are potentially eligible for the $70 million of Transformative Climate Communities funding. So I just want to make that clear. This is real. This is for real. The second thing I want to note is that every single project you're seeing come in front of you today is because it's asking for part of that $70 million. So everyone has an ask associated with their project, and they'll talk more about that with you. As we move forward in the process, and we know we only have 2 more community steering committee meetings before the end of the process, everything's going to get more accurate over time. So we have done our best to work with all the project proposers to get something to you today that's within the ballpark of accuracy, and that's only going to improve over time as we do additional checks on eligibility, on readiness, and on verification of other components of their project. So just know what you have in front of you today is the best that it's going to get at this point in time, and it's only going to keep improving in accuracy. The last thing I want to mention on the projects is that housing projects, as we've mentioned before, have a higher bar to meet in terms of readiness. So every housing project that you see presented today is here because it could be real, because we've gone through some preliminary checks to make sure that they're on the path to being a ready project before we submit for funds. So with that, we're really excited. If you have any additional questions or want to learn more information about the projects after being in this room, number 1, head over to Nunley Hall, because all of our presenters will be headed over there after they present to talk more about their project, and you can ask them more detailed questions. We have some friends at the Southwest Fresno Community Development Corporation and Every Neighborhood Partnership that are also hosting a second project review day tomorrow night here, same place, same time. And so if you want more time to spend with the projects, please go to their project review day. We also have an interactive a map on our website of all the projects that are moving forward. It's at www.transformfresno.com/process. That's where you can find the map. What else about projects? I think that's it. So with that, unless Steve has anything.
Just one exciting announcement. There's a blue Mustang outside that will either go to the best presentation, or because it's double parked, whoever owns it should move it. It's 6KKP890. So can we use it as a prize, or does somebody own it and want to move it? So please do. All right, and now we will move on to our first speaker.
Good evening. I just wanted to share quickly, this is a 2006 vision statement from West Fresno residents. Our vision for West Fresno is one of asset building, of bringing money, development into our community. We envision business, grocery stores, banks, stores like Walmart, Target, Winco, Vons, and restaurants. We see infrastructure in place, sidewalks, bike lanes, parking lots, street lights. The area out on Kearney Boulevard is developed. It's a cleaner community. We have a football stadium for Edison High School, a theater, hospital, affordable medical care, walk-in medical clinics, and doctor's offices. There is affordable housing, green space, and mediums, and parks. There's more schools, a junior high school, the homeless are off the street, and there are jobs. And most importantly, there is hope in people's eyes.
Good evening. My name is Richard Daniels. I'm the pastor of the Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church and presently serve as the chairman of VOICE, an acronym meaning Voice of Communities. Voice of Including Communities Equitably. The pastors and I of the community and some parts scattered all over the community have come together. We're working together to, we believe, in a holistic manner, help people in nearly every aspect of their lives. Aside from the spiritual aspect of our involvement, we are operating a Gladiators program. Gladiators program, we've had one cohort that was successful. Our objective is to provide at least four things, to provide hard and soft skill training to disadvantaged people of Fresno, West Fresno, and beyond, to provide basic construction skills that will lead to building trades, apprenticeship, and sustainable jobs, to provide mentorship and case management for our clients that will encourage them towards self-achievement and employment success, and to develop shoulder-to-shoulder working relationships with the trade unions to make it possible for them to have sustainable jobs through the vast construction projects in our state, counties, and cities. Thank you.
So it's going to be kind of hard to kind of click and talk at the same time, but I'm going to try it. So TCC goals and criteria. So our Gladiator Workforce Training Program will increase access to workforce-related training and education. It supports the project labor agreement that was decided upon in December 2016. Our program will train 100 gladiators, and our goal is that 80% of them will have a union trade apprenticeship program. In terms of readiness, we have already established MOUs or partnerships with higher education, people like Fresno City College, Fresno State. We have an innovative mentorship program that has support groups, one-on-one relationships, and also with trained mentors. And we have a committed partnerships with the union trades and developers. You know, and just in closing, I just want to say that our project is from West Fresno, it's by West Fresno, and it's for all of Fresno and the Central Valley. And we are asking the steering committee for support for a long-term investment in the careers and future of the families and friends and neighbors of here in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, LaHonda. Thank you, Pastor. So I especially want to thank them for demonstrating a very succinct presentation. They had 20 extra seconds. Now as the presenters, they'll be available in Nunley Hall if anyone has follow-up questions. And Laura, we're ready for our next speakers.
Testing. Good evening. My name is Oscar Robinson. I'll be introducing the West Fresno Advanced Transportation Technology Training Program. We introduce and train students to operate and maintain clean transportation technologies. The location is at Chandler Airport. We are asking $1.5 million from TCC for low-carb transit operations with a $750,000 match. And yes, it is scalable. In the picture, can you go back real quick? You could see the vacant hangars in Chandler Airport. I believe that Chandler Airport is an asset to West Fresno that we can utilize. It'll be housed in the hangar to the right. You can see it. Okay. Benefits: certified introductory training on all-electric aircraft, all-electric transit buses, all-electric school buses, ultra-low NOx Class 8 trucks, and all-electric material handlers with job training with zero or near zero emissions. Our goals are to lower greenhouse gas emissions through all-electric training. The environmental benefits are reusable energy, and we expand economic opportunity through job training for residents, building a healthier environment, energy independence, and a new workforce. I will be acting as the director and job developer with the OLR Wizards 501c3 as my administrator. My technology consultant is Joseph Oldman at CalSTART, San Joaquin Valley Clean Transportation Center, and we have agreed to preliminary classroom training with Bidwise with on-site training at Chandler Airport. Early supporters, I've talked to Councilman Oliver Baines, CalSTART, the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, Fresno Metro, Black Chamber of Commerce, and Take a Stand Community, and others. Our matches are coming from CalSTART, San Joaquin, Clean Transportation Center, and the Air Pollution Control District. Some added benefits: we will be reusing existing buildings leased from the city of Fresno, so they will receive income. Small business development training for owner-operators in trucking, and expanded transit services with shuttle programs in Southwest Fresno and downtown. We have pilot programs that we want to include West Fresno in and downtown to increase transit. We also hope to partnership with Fresno City College or the WIB for the West Fresno City College campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is Tate Hill. I am from Fresno EOC. And just as you're wondering, I'm not Brian Angus. But we want to present our project. We're looking at a green economy in West Fresno. And so our project looks at low-income weatherization and economic development. EOC has over 30 years of experience doing weatherization here in the Valley and also West Fresno, more than 5 years in doing solar installation here throughout the Central Valley. We also will be the implementers of the program. And our target area, as you see in the map, will primarily be in the southwest area of the specific plan. Our goal is to weatherize and then also to put solar on 100 homes in Southwest Fresno. That weatherization includes everything from door stripping, lights, windows, all the elements to make a house weatherized, and also solar, installation of solar that the residents would actually own. They would own that solar. Also, as a part of that green economy is looking at 50 residential residents that would acquire electric vehicles or solar vehicles. Our request is for $2.6 million. We have match of $800 million for a total budget of $3.4 million. And yes, our project is scalable. So when you think about the benefits and the impacts of our project, of course, around reducing greenhouse gases, including solar, the electric vehicles, and energy efficiency of homes. We estimate about 600 megatons of reduced pollution. That equates to about 67,000 less gallons of gas, or about 1.4 million less miles of passenger traffic. So we're talking about real impacts in our communities. Also, along with that, is not just about the solar and the energy, but it also is about the economic opportunity. We are looking to increase residents' opportunities for getting solar jobs, but also how do we support, looking at supporting businesses that would be businesses that would also get access to opportunities in that area. Some of our goals look at, again, installing energy efficient measures. We're talking about 65 to 90% energy savings for our homeowners. Also, we reduce their bills in gas with the electric vehicles, and also on-the-job training that will be provided. So our readiness, again, we have over 30 years of experience. We have a number of partners along at EOC, Valley Can, San Joaquin Valley, Air District. We are ready to implement the project. And so, again, the big picture is around not just greenhouse gas reduction, but creating a green economy in Southwest Fresno. This project creates tangible, real pollution reducing results that residents will be able to experience, not only in the community, but in their home. And we realize the importance of not just making sure that some people benefit, but that everyone has an opportunity to benefit in this new economy, and our project endeavors to do just that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tate. Next speaker.
Tessie.
You want the clicker, or do you want me to click for you?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marshawn Govan, and what I'm going to present to you is our overview. What we're looking to do is weatherization program with a mix of energy efficient programs. What our overview is a type of neighborhoods is direct installation program of low income, single family, energy efficient and solar photovoltaic programs and energy efficient retrofit packages measures, which is going to be for the climate zone testing, auditing, and installations. The applicant is going to be Tax Help Center of America. I am the program director of that, which is a 501(c) public benefit nonprofit corporation. The project, the implementer is going to be GHS Govans Construction, which is a company that I founded, which is signatory to the Northern California Carpenters Union. We're also looking at our project address of Fresno, which is the residential code of 93706. The size of our quantity estimated it at 10,939 residential homes and apartments within the 93706 area code. The TCC axing funds is $14,275,324. The matching funds is going to be from the Jobs Act's Title IV Regulation A+. The total budget is going to be the same. Is our project scalable? Yes, it is. Benefits and impact, weatherization, modifying homes to reduce energy consumption and optimizing energy efficiency, water conservation, installing low-flow shower heads and faucets to reduce water consumption as much as 50% and reduce energy costs of heating and water also by as much as 50%. Workforce development and education, to offer internships, hands-on training to individuals who have received classroom or other training elsewhere, directly hiring workers from disadvantaged communities, negotiating employment agreements with hired subcontractors to hire one or more individuals from the disadvantaged communities, giving preferences to subcontractors from the disadvantaged community areas, to install cost-effective, energy-efficient measures in solar PV to reduce direct on-site energy use and greenhouse gas emission. Benefits of all elements included but are not limited to reducing household energy bills, reducing air pollution and helping to achieve air quality standards, improving public health, creating jobs and job training opportunities, and stimulating the economy. Our TCC goals and criteria is achieving significant reduction in greenhouse gas emission. Implement significant deployment of building retrofits, deploy smart grid technologies, support grid reliabilities and resilience by incorporating energy storage. TCC goals is to improve public health and environmental benefits, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions with help to improve the quality of living and thereby improve the quality of health, creating jobs will reduce poverty and promote physical and mental well-being. Retrofitting homes will reduce health, safety, and environmental hazards from within the home. The TCC goal is to expand economic opportunities and share prosperity. The jobs created will help to stimulate the economy. On-the-job training provides quality job-related education, thereby giving local residents the skills and knowledge to obtain better jobs.
1 minute.
Readiness. Weatherization and water conservation. We're ready to begin once the funds have been obtained. Our workforce development and education, we have a 6-week training program in place through a local carpenters union, which is our training facility there in Fresno. A certificate of apprenticeship will be earned upon completion of the course. We have social media in place to include, but not limited to our websites. Our project has a much broader impact than just a reduction of greenhouse gas. This project will empower residents by giving them greater financial freedom due to monthly savings in energy costs and, more importantly, job training. Learning new skills will give them opportunities to greater increase their standards of living, thereby stimulating the economy even more. Top 3 benefits of advantages of our project: reduction of crime and unemployment, increased community pride, and building better relationships between government residents and increase the property value.
Thank you very much. Marshawn, this one. Next speaker.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jesse Adegain, and I represent Grid Alternatives. We're a local nonprofit solar installer established in 2001, and we serve a 12-county region of Central California, which includes, of course, Fresno County. And what we're here to do is to present a very, very creatively named project called the Solar Renewable Energy Project. Like our predecessors, we are a green company, and we're engaged in solar installation with families that we serve that are below the 80% average median income, which are low-income families. What we propose to do is to provide within the West Fresno community up to 500 kilowatts of solar on 100 homes plus multifamily complexes. And it is a partnership that we have created between the Grid Alternatives, the folks over at Stone Soup Fresno, Center for New Americans, and the Fresno Housing Authority. So what the budget calls for is a total of $1.6 million, and this is a scalable project. What you see there is really the Volkswagen version. The top end of this, which would be the Cadillac version, would be right at around $2.3 million. We do have matching funds available up to $800,000, and the project is scalable. In terms of shared prosperity, you know, we strive to serve low-income families. Okay, the proposed project will actually reduce or take out of the air 9,572 tons of greenhouse gases. What is most interesting about this is the energy savings that families receiving solar within West Fresno will save over a 20-year period, $20,519,436. So the savings are quite significant for each individual family, and one of the keys in terms of the successes is the direct benefit that the families receive in terms of energy saving. This project also proposes to train 200 individuals in solar, and it also will do a number of other things in terms of its goals and criteria. So it does fulfill the greenhouse gas reduction quite nicely. It creates economic opportunity through training for 200 individuals. It creates shared prosperity through the energy savings, as well as helps lessen asthma-related emergency village visits through improved air quality. So if you notice the picture up on the top right, that's the city of Fresno on a clear day, and we're hoping to change that. Okay. So what we've done is, oh, did I? Okay. So really what this project provides is direct energy savings for families. It improves the air quality that we breathe, and it really creates an opportunity for living wage jobs in the community. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next speaker.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kyle Schmidt with Food Commons Fresno. I'm here to present to you our planned project of a grocery store, local produce distribution center, and a community orchard that we are planning for Southwest. Our organization started in May of 2015 with the mission to bring local sustainable food to every community in the region, connect local farmers to the community, and do so in an equitable way that workers and the community have an opportunity for ownership in this initiative. So we've been planning this grocery store for a while now. It's the kind of next phase for our development. We have a location on Belmont and South Tower and in downtown, and this is our next plan for our location. We've been looking at California and Fruit, Walnut and Church, and Jensen and Elm as locations for this development. Go ahead to the next one. We've always been about community. Our team is very diverse in who we've hired to be, working on these initiatives. We've been doing a lot of work in communities of bringing access to fresh food, as well as local farmers and youth farms, about empowering people that farming and farm-related businesses are a viable path. So we've worked with the Freedom School within Southwest Fresno and the Sweet Potato Project on connecting those youth farms with local markets. Next. So some of the aspects that we're trying to look for kind of meeting the TCC goals are reducing greenhouse gases through energy efficiency and carbon capture on site. We have a lot of equipment that would go into this facility. We're not a wealthy organization, so we're trying to pull together all the funding to do it. And if we had some funds through TCC, we would be able to get the more energy efficiency, modern equipment that would really be efficient for water and energy. Within our community orchard, we're planning on different carbon sequestration approaches, like a method that's called hugelkultur, of burying wood within the ground to create berms that we would be directing all the rainwater and runoff on site, and that wood buried within the earth decomposes and captures the carbon within the soil. So we're not only are we reducing the amount of carbon that we're putting into the air, but we're actually pulling it out and putting it into the ground through organic methods. Additionally, offering health benefits of fresh, healthy food within the community. We've heard a lot that grocery stores are very important for Southwest Fresno. Not only just any grocery store, but having a lot of fresh food, having a store that's built for the community, owned by the community, and run by the community. Next. So as far as readiness, we're bringing a $3.5 million match through our funding campaign that we're just launching now, called a direct public offering, where the community can invest within the food commons and become owners. So we're hoping that community members are going to be investing within this, putting their own resources, and helping pull these state resources to match those as part of that investment. So you'll be hearing more about that DPO campaign as we go. We drop produce here every week at the Westside Church of God through our UBI program, and we're trying to do a lot of kind of neighborhood connection within food accessibility. Next. So that shows kind of our connection through the broader community. We hope that this project not only offer fresh food to Southwest Fresno, but connect to the larger healthy food economy and bring resources from outside of Southwest into and create a destination that's draws the whole entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Next speaker. Hello, Sylvester. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sylvester Hall. I'm president of Coast to Coast Petroleum and Blue Ocean Development America. My family has a 70-some-year history here in Southwest Fresno and currently is embedded in the community. I'm here tonight representing 2500 MLK LLC, which is our partnership that is in charge of development of the MLK Activity Center project, which is truly a transformative project and a massive project that we've been working on for 4 years. It's a 10-year process, and we have yet 6 years to go. So I just want to give you a brief overview of where we are in the project. And Mr. Rudd, with the City of Fresno, would focus on some of the components of our project, because it's truly a collaborative project, and we have other stakeholders involved, and they want to talk specifically about the details of their particular component, which is going to be our park, our community park. And I believe after Mr. Rudd, we have State Center College Community District's President, Dr. Goldsmith, coming up to talk about her particular participation in the Martin Luther King Activity Center project. The Martin Luther King Center Activity Center project is currently in the process of engaging in a master plan design process. After spending the past 4 years aligning ourselves with the City of Fresno, State Center Community College District, Strategic Growth Council, and the citizens of Southwest Fresno, 2500 MLK LLC is now poised to move forward as the master developer of the Martin Luther King Activity Center project. The MLK project is a mixed-use project consisting of a community park, a proposed State Center Community College District, West Fresno Community College campus. The MLK Activity Center project future phases will consist of single-family quality homes, multi-family mixed-income housing, and approximately 323,000 square feet of retail. The community park will be on the scale and level of the newly built Inspiration Park and is expected to have all the amenities of a world-class park. The community college is projected to be a full curriculum college, providing a pathway to an AA degree in public health care and transfer degrees. The 323,000 square feet of retail is projected to provide over 1,000 part-time and permanent jobs and will consist of a big box grocer, major brand retailers of all varieties and assortments, and business office space as well. The MLK project is totally in line with the Fresno 2035 General Plan, complete neighborhood concept, where neighborhoods have connections to transportation, housing, jobs, retail, recreation, and services. Additionally, the MLK project is a part of the Southwest Fresno Specific Plan and is targeted as a magnet core for our immediate implementation with off-site construction starting as early as summer of 2018. Furthermore, the MLK project is targeted to be a transformative climate communities project that has the intent and potential to totally catalyze and transform Southwest Fresno. The MLK project is an extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that addresses all three objectives of TCC, which are GHG reduction, public health and environmental health, economic and shared prosperity. The MLK project incorporates all 10, I mean all 10, of the TCC strategies of equitable housing, neighborhood development, transit access and mobility, decarbonization, energy efficiency, water efficiency, materials management, urban greening and green infrastructure, land conservation and restoration, health and well-being, workforce development and education, high job creation, and local economic development. In conclusion, the MLK project is ready for implementation with the vision of the community and strong collaboration relationships with our respective partners. All properties have been annexed into the City of Fresno. City of Fresno General Plan has been amended. Property has been pre-rezoned for project uses, and our development permit applications is in the process of final approval. 2500 MLK LLC stands project ready, meeting all readiness requirements consistent with Southwest Fresno Specific Plan. Our project area is in the required TCC Cal Enviro Screen 3.05 mile plan area. Displacement avoidance policies and procedures have been adopted and will be implemented. Our strategies, goals, and project types are consistent with the City of Fresno, FTCC, and TCC programs. Thank you.
Thank you. And let me just conclude, because we do have to get to our part of the presentation. We are proposing a 10-acre park. We are asking for about $4.5 million of the $9 million budget. But more importantly, as Mr. Hall pointed out, the City of Fresno is bringing other resources to this project in support of the vision that you just heard about. We are going to fund all the off-site improvements using other resources other than TCC funds. We are going to increase the level of public transit services every 15 minutes using state-of-the-art electric vehicles. We are going to not only build this park, but we're going to use recycled water to irrigate. So this is going to be just a cornerstone or a piece of a bigger project. And I would like to thank Mr. Hall for his vision bringing this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carol Goldsmith. I am so pleased to be here and honored. I'm the president of Fresno City College, and joined with me for a few opening remarks is Trustee Eric Payne. Eric?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first thank the community for their support for the passage of our $485 million bond measure to get it started with a new catalytic project for West Fresno with the new community college center. And so hopefully you'll hear much detail about what we plan to do to change this neighborhood, to change this community for the better, to increase access to educational opportunities, and build partnerships with our K-12 partners at Fresno Unified and Washington Union. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, I'm being mindful of everybody's time. I know you can read on the overview, but I think what is important to remember, Fresno City College is California's first and the nation's second college. We've been doing this business for over 107 years. We can bring scalability like you've never seen, and we will bring scalability. We believe that not only is this a transformational project, but this is a revolutionary project. We want to make sure that we do everything that we talk about here, because we're going to ask for $16.9 million, but we're bringing more than $40 million to the table. And I think that's important to note, because when this first started, it was a $10 million project, but we know we want to make this into tenfold, and we believe we can. We believe we can because we know that we've been listening to the community, and it's only through working with the community that we'll be able to do this. Next slide. So we talked a little bit about sustainability. Of course, we are sustainable, and we're going to talk about the benefits and impacts. In addition to the capital $40 million that we'll be able to bring, we also have operational dollars because we're an accredited community college. We're not going anywhere. Once the grant is done and once we build, we're going to keep on being here. We've been in this community for over 100 years, and we're going to have such an amazing school here. We're going to be here for the next 100. We're going to be doing everything on this screen behind me. We're going to talk about automotive. Right now, we have the largest automotive program in the Valley. We work with Mopar. We're working with electric vehicles. We're going to bring that here. It is going to be kids from all over are going to want to come here. We're going to know that we're reducing the cost of education because now the 2,000 students that come from this area to come to Fresno City College, we're going to have everything here. It's going to be transfer level. We know that we transfer over 8,000 students a year. We know we can do even more here. We're really excited about this. This is about creating an educational revolution. So I want you all to remember this night because this is the night where it happened. Next slide. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing, and we're talking about how we're going to achieve the goals of the TCC. Well, transformational climate change, that's new, but transforming lives through education is not. For any of you who've been touched by education and you've seen the transformational power, you know in your heart that education is the one thing that levels all playing fields, regardless of what kind of house you grew up in, a small house or a little house. And it doesn't make a difference what color your skin is. Education is the one thing that makes the difference. We know that we're going to be able to increase transit mobility. We're using the materials that will build a net zero building, and we will have the highest water efficiency and solar around. Our building will be more than just a building. It'll be part of the educational learning environment. Next slide. I've talked a little bit about our readiness. We've been doing this for over 100 years. We've been doing this because we believe in the work. We've been partnering for years with Fresno ministry groups, Fresno EOC, Fresno EDC, Fresno WIB, the PG&E, the High Speed Rail Authority, Fresno State, to name a few. This isn't about what we're going to do. This is about what we are doing now. We're offering classes now at Edison. This will allow us to expand and be able to do even more. In terms of demonstrated financial feasibility, this is a solid bet, people. This is California schools, California community colleges coming here to you. Next slide. In closing, we know that we transform lives. We want to transform the lives in West Fresno because it is the right thing to do. Bill Stewart and the voters of this community said it's the right thing to do. We're going to make it happen. And with your help and transformational claim, we're going to be the catalyst for a new health and educational and ecological renaissance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol. Just a quick temperature check. How are people feeling? Too hot, too cold? Is it good? Cold, okay. We had a few too hots, so it sounds like we're probably about right. Okay. A clicker?
That was good, Carol. That was exciting. Top that, buddy.
Thank you, Carol. I'm Chris Fox, and I'm with TFS Investments. I'm joined by Terrence Frazier, the CEO.
Our project is a little bit simpler than some of the ones you guys just heard. We are an affordable housing development. We're currently planning on around 48 units and having about 20% of those units set aside for low income, 50% average median income, so about 10 units. You can see our ask is around 4.4 million. We have a project somewhere right around 18 million. It's very important to note that the affordable housing component is just one phase, one of this large project. We own the entire block from Mono to Inyo on 8th Street, so we encompass quite a large area. Some of the things that we want to have benefited from this project, we are going to have rooftop solar, so we're going to have a little energy efficiency. We are going to have charging stations for some of our more energy efficient tenants, if possible. We are definitely trying to do a mixed income development. We are not doing 100% affordable or 100% market rate. We have the 80% market and 20% affordable to benefit not just people that can pay the nice increasing rents thanks to Granville downtown, but also the people that want to be down there that may not be able to afford that as well. We also are very close to BRT and high-speed rail. We're within half a mile of each major station, and high-speed rail is on 8th Street, so are we. So we certainly think we are one of the closest projects, if not the closest, to high-speed rail, and we are getting really ready to go. And we're also not displacing anybody on this thing. There are no businesses or individuals being displaced. We are not relocating, redoing anything with anybody. Some of the things that I've already kind of touched on for some of the goals that TCC has, these are greenhouse gas reduction dollars, and certainly with our solar, our charging station, we certainly offer that. With the infrastructure improvements over there, we have increased walkability, the new bike lane that we are going to have to connect this project to the high-speed rail. We certainly have the connectivity that TCC wants to hear. In terms of the criteria, in terms of what fulfills that criteria, we do have a sustainable development, again, going back to the solar, going back to the charging stations, going back to the all the nice little energy upgrades we're going to have on these units. We, again, have the increased infrastructure with the new sidewalk, streets, alleyways improvements, and the bike lanes for people. And we also, again, have that great connectivity with BRT and high-speed rail. In terms of readiness, again, we own the entire site. It is completely owned by ourselves and Brar Holdings. We have our site plan already submitted. That was submitted back in July of this year. We have just received all of our comments back from the city, so now our architects and engineers get the lovely response of implementing all those fun things into our plans, and we are doing that currently right now, and we are an experienced developer team. I think the man to my right has about 21 years in residential and multifamily development, and our other partner, Brar Holdings, is somewhere closer to 15, so we certainly have a very quality, good team on this board.
1 minute.
In conclusion, we want to be a model in terms of catalyst for other developments. We want to be a model for a mixed income development. Again, you don't see those a whole lot, especially in Fresno. You either see all affordable or you see all market rate. We want to be kind of a catalyst and show a plan for other developers to do mixed income developments in downtown Fresno. Certainly, we want to be a leader in sustainable development with our, again, our rooftop solar and some of the things we're doing to help try to get this building at net zero as much as possible with the limited size and constraints that we do. And again, some of the benefits, again, going back to the greenhouse gas stuff, connectivity to high-speed rail, BRT, solar, all kinds of fun stuff. So look forward to any questions anybody have in the lobby.
All right, thank you very much. Next speaker.
Good evening. My name's Scott Anderson. I'm here representing Chinatown Lofts LP. We appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight and would like to thank Danielle and Laura and the entire TCC processing team, as well as this committee, for the opportunity to present our project tonight. The project we're presenting is called Chinatown Lofts. It's a 5-story, let me do this first. Sorry about that. It's a 5-story mid-rise affordable housing development. It's a podium style. It's constructed out of what's called podium style, where we will have 68 parking stalls below ground, and 68 units, residential units above ground, along with 3,600 square feet of commercial retail space on the grade level floor. Again, the project that we're proposing is at 718 F Street. It's 68 units. The funding ask we're requesting is $11.5 million. The matching funds are $10 million for a total project budget of $21.5 million. This particular project that we're proposing is phase one of a larger project, which would be a three-phase, 200-unit project. The project, this phase one project involves 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units ranging in size between 648 square feet to 1,142 square feet. The project meets the density requirements associated with the recent City of Fresno General Plan update and the benefits and impacts associated with it. The project provides for high quality, affordable housing. What we're contemplating is, if any of you have been to San Jose, more along the lines of what would, if you've ever seen Santana Row in San Jose, beautiful buildings, beautiful residential housing there. It's what should be included in Chinatown. What we're talking about is other particular benefits and impacts are job creation associated with construction, stabilization of downtown neighborhoods, which are so sorely needed, as well as this particular project is located really, really nicely in terms of its location of, with the new high-speed rail station, bus and BRT stops, Grizzly Stadium, of course, historic Chinatown, and Fulton Street. If any of you are wondering where this is right at the corner of Mono and F Streets, which is just a stone's throw from Full Circle Brewing if you'd like to have a cold beer. TCC goals associated with this project involve, again, our project location. The idea is, with the ability of it being so centrally located to all the different transportation nodes I just spoke about, the idea is we can reduce the trip traces, vehicular trip traces associated with many other projects by people having the ability to walk to all these different transportation nodes. The idea behind that is to reduce greenhouse gases. This particular project also, from energy efficiency standpoint, will exceed Title 24 by 15%. We are providing equitable housing. And then moving on to readiness. We have site control already put together. We have enforceable funding. Our performance are in place. And the site was previously approved. We have a conditional use permit, which is being worked through the City of Fresno and updated at this point. In closing, this is a redevelopment project involving a blighted area. You can see what is 699 F Street. That's just a Google Earth image, but you can see what the corner is now versus what we're proposing in the future, which is a top right-hand picture in the top right-hand corner. The project provides quality mixed, in closing, the project provides quality mixed-use housing, job creation, and is a catalyst project for creating lively mixed-use neighborhoods or neighborhood in the downtown core, and it promotes Chinatown's history of being a vibrant, diverse, and attractive place. Chinatown really was something back in the day, and we want to revisit that again. So we appreciate the opportunity to propose tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good evening. My name is Mehmet Noyan. I'm here to provide an overview of the project that we are proposing, known as the Park Phase 1. The developer is Noyan Fraser Capital, which consists of myself, my partner, and one of my best friends, Terrence Fraser, and we have another partner from Los Angeles who was not able to join us tonight. This project is a mixed-use project that contains 52 units of moderate and low-income housing in a core redevelopment neighborhood in the city of Fresno. 20% of the units, or 11 of the units, will be affordable. There'll be 7,500 square feet of retail space on the ground floor, and this will be like the previous building, a podium building built at 4 levels. Next. The benefits are that the project provides local economic and environmental benefits to a disadvantaged district. The street and transit improvements will enhance connectivity to transit, including BRT and high-speed rail, all that are within walking distance. It's also projected to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by approximately 10,800 metric tons per year. It also implements the 2035 General Plan and the Fulton Corridor Specific Plan. Next. The project fulfills the TCC goals of affordable housing and sustainable transit and new infrastructure, and primarily Fulton Street, which is being completed as we speak. The TCC ask is based on calculations given to us and is a formula based on the number of affordable units at 50% of AMI. The project leverage funds 9% with every proposed TCC dollar. In terms of readiness, the project was the result of an extensive and communicative engagement process. All of the CEQA has been completed and construction drawings are underway and will be complete in October of this year, and will be submitted to the city next month for their review and approval. We also have several sources of funding outside of the TCC, which are listed, that include various tax credit funds, and a large portion of this will be equity between the partners that we will be investing ourselves. Our target is to start the project in the spring of 2018 and complete and bring the project on board by the fall of 2019. Next. The project will enhance economic opportunities in the service area. It does not cause any displacement of low-income, disadvantaged community residents, or any businesses will be displaced. We are shovel-ready. We are ready to go. We believe that this is a truly transformative project, and we would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mehmet.
Good evening. My name's LaFave Gugis. I'm General Counsel for APEC International LLC, and I appreciate the opportunity to present the Hotel Fresno project to you this evening. The Hotel Fresno project is an affordable housing project. It'll have, the developers will be APEC International and Deep Green Housing and Community Development. The project is located at 20, I won't mention everything up there, but the project is basically located at H Street and Broadway Plaza. Most of you are probably very familiar with that building. There will be 79 units, a mixture of affordable and market rate units, a new parking structure built to the rear of the building, and there will be retail space, approximately 15,000 square feet of retail space at the bottom floor of the building and also within the new parking structure. So it will be mixed income and mixed use project. We are asking for $9.5 million of TCCP funding. We have about $20 million of matching committed funds already, and the total project budget is $31 million, and it is single phase, so it cannot be scaled. This particular building, many people have asked why isn't it just torn down, but the project is already listed on the city's historic landmark listing. The project has already been accepted to be approved on the National Historic Preservation List for a nationally listed project as well, so you can't tear it down. Someone has to revive it and refurbish it to Secretary of Interior standards, which is what we plan to do. We're probably, as far as I know, the third developer to try to do something with this project. It's been dormant for about 30 years, and I think we've probably got it as far as anyone else to this point. The project is connected with the, it's very close to the high-speed rail station, the downtown transit mall, and the proposed bus rapid transit lines as well. We've talked about the parking structure. The project financing structure will include about $14 million in private investment in the area, and we've discussed the retail space as well. Next two slides. Oops, I do that. Sorry about that. Here we go. Going too fast. With regard to the TCC goals that the project will assist the city in achieving, there will be a mixed-use development which is encouraged by the TCC guidelines. The project has already been approved as an affordable housing sustainable communities project by the Strategic Growth Council. So it's already been proven to incorporate greenhouse gas emission reduction strategies. There will be infrastructure improvements with the project as well. Obviously, the project will remove much of the blight in that area and improve public safety. With the retail space, there will be both part-time and full-time jobs after completion of the project. With regard to readiness, which is probably most important, we already have title. We've been through all environmental approvals. We have a building permit, and the project meets all readiness requirements required by TCCP and the city. So the project is definitely shovel-ready. We are ready to go to build this project. In closing, let's see, there we go. The project will contribute to the revitalization of the downtown core. The project will meet all of the, will help the city, assist the city in meeting its goals as described in the Downtown Neighborhoods Community Plan and the High-Speed Rail Station Plan. It will improve the physical and visual economic vitality of the city in that area. And again, it will preserve one of, the city of Fresno's most important architectural structures in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for
Next
going
speaker.
so fast.
You got the clicker?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening and for allowing us the opportunity to be here to present our project. My name is Chris Westlake. I'm with Dominus Consortium LLC. Oops. We're an affordable housing developer here in the Central Valley. What we have, our first project here we're presenting tonight is a project, Van Ness Family Apartments on Van Ness and Stanislaus in the downtown corridor. It's 70 units of all affordable family, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. We are asking 11.1 million of TCC funding. Our total budget's about 21.6 million, and then we have a match of about 10.5 million, which is made up of tax credits, permanent loan, and developer equity.
Notice the slides might be in the opposite order.
Oh. So we get. Okay, so I'll switch projects. Sorry about that. All right, this project is a acquisition rehab project. Sorry about that, I should have looked up there. This is in Southwest Fresno at the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Annandale. It's an existing 106 units of senior 1 and 2 bedroom units. Our ask is $6 million on this. There is a total development cost of $12 million, and we have $6 million match in tax credits and developer equity and a perm loan on this. Some of the benefits on this project are what we're doing is retaining safe, affordable housing for seniors. This project is at risk of converting possibly to market rate since the tax credits are up on it. Also construction jobs and the rehabilitation of the project, because we would be doing energy efficiencies, improvements to the units, both for their roofing and also their AC units. And then we improve the property values in the overall neighborhood as well by doing the rehabilitation. Some of the goals for the TCC is elimination of greenhouse gas. On a project like this, we're looking at several thousand tons over the life of the project. Also, it's reduced parking on this site, so there's less vehicle travel trips on it. Filling the criteria is by improving the energy efficiency in the apartments overall, which will save on costs for the overall development as well as individuals, water efficiencies, and improved transit access out there for the bus stations for the seniors. And then, as I said before, improving the neighborhood development. Our readiness, we have site control currently. We have enforceable funding commitments from our lenders and our tax credit investors. And we're also have a physical needs assessments done. This is required for rehabilitation projects. And then due to this being a rehabilitation project, there will be no relocation and everything will be on site because we have units that are available to keep the residents there without having to be moved. In closing, this project as I said before, is the risk of conversion, so we're keeping the seniors, which is our most population that's at risk in their housing, keeping their housing affordable for them, and then improving the lives of them and creating jobs from the rehab project. So that's closing on project 1. Okay, as I first start talking about our first project, I'll redo it a little bit. This is a downtown project. It's new construction, 70 units of family, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. It's located at the corner of Van Ness and Stanislaus Street. There will be 15,000 square foot of retail commercial on the ground floor, along with parking for the residential. Above that is 2 floors of the housing units for the 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. This is a 100% affordable project. Our total budget's $21.6 million. We have about $10.5 million of match, which I said before was tax credits, perm loan, and investor or developer equity, and then we're asking $11.15 million from TCC to fill the gap on this. This is some of the benefits from this program for this new construction is the providing safe, affordable housing, construction jobs in a new construction, and also the reduction in housing costs to the families by providing them affordable housing, increases their annual income that they're able to afford now to put into other aspects of their life, and improved values in the neighborhood. This site was an old gas station that was closed up. It was very derelict. We've cleaned that out. There was a couple burnt-out houses on the site, and we removed those as well, so improving the whole neighborhood. Our TCC goals, we have ran the calculation using the Cal EMOD model that the Strategic Growth Council uses. This site would reduce greenhouse gas reductions by about 13,000 tons over 30 years. The criteria that we would be looking at doing is energy efficiency to the apartments, water efficiency, improved transit access. We have 3 transit stations, either on-site or within short walking distance that we'd be improving for our residents as well as the surrounding neighborhood residents. And then looking at providing neighborhood improvements. Our readiness on this site, we have site control. We have enforceable funding commitments, both from our tax credit investors as well as our perm loan. We have ran pro formas on this. We have a market study on this. We have done our land use approvals through the city last year. In June, received approvals on that. We've done our environmental exemptions in June of last year. And we also ran this by the Fulton Lau Committee and received approval in February of last year for this site. In closing, once again, we're a redevelopment of a blighted area of downtown. The 3 benefits we saw was providing, once again, safe, affordable housing, reducing lower housing costs for families, and job creation for the new construction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Dumont. I'm the Director of Planning and Integration from the California High-Speed Rail Authority. The California High-Speed Rail Authority is a landowner in Fresno and will soon have the nation's first high-speed rail station, part of the California High-Speed Rail system under construction in the Central Valley, your backyard. We've been working with the city on station area planning efforts to envision a future for the station and the station area that'll create local opportunities for development. We're here because we want to work with the community to bring development to the station area as soon as possible, because we've learned high-speed rail around the globe can be used for its ability to generate local economic growth. We're beginning the process of formulating plans for our property, including a phasing approach to its implementation. Our primary goal tonight is to get community input. We have ideas, but we need your help to make them actionable, coordinated, vibrant, equitable, and inclusive. So we've submitted a concept that we hope will become part of a program of investments in downtown Fresno through Transformative Climate Communities. In addition to the hundreds of millions of dollars my agency has invested in Fresno, here's our concept. Using high-speed rail land, it's a 200,000 square foot development, mixed use, residential, including affordable housing, and retail and commercial development. We're proposing 2 potential locations for this type of development: the boxcar lot on H Street along the rail line, and the merchants lot on Mariposa Street, both right next to the high-speed rail station. We want a catalytic investment that activates the area. That's 275 units with 55 affordable. Here's the fun part that invites your innovation and ideas. We're looking for community-serving ground floor opportunities. That could be a Fresno-owned restaurant focused on locally sourced food, a space for community gatherings and learning or training, local retail or other commercial, such as makerspace or a brewery. Since this proposal wouldn't take the full length of one of our properties, we're proposing a temporary but complementary use of the remaining parcel. It could be a community garden with composting, space for food trucks, or pop-up active spaces. I'm sure you all have other great ideas. In fact, tonight, hearing your proposals, I'm inspired with more ideas for the development, but we need your help to move it forward. Our concept meets all the design principles in the Fulton Corridor specific plan, which is part of our station area. And with high-speed rail connectivity, we provide quick and easy access to good job markets, educational opportunities, and any other activity you're looking for in other markets in California. We want to connect the future high-speed station with downtown Fresno, a seamless connection between station and community. And we help deliver the sustainable development our state needs. Our system runs on 100% renewable energy. Our station will be what they call energy positive, which means we'll actually generate more energy than we need to operate. We're also looking to add pedestrian and bike access in the station area, building on all the good work you've been doing planning for a great bike and ped network throughout downtown. So here's where we are. We're a property owner, and any development adjacent to our future station would be integrated with the actual station design. Working with the community to determine the right kind of development for Fresno is our priority.
1 minute.
By designing the development using our design criteria and grounding it in our sustainability policy, the development would meet TCC goals. We've learned from urban regeneration projects throughout the US and abroad the importance of a catalyzing project. So we're here because we believe in reinvesting in downtown Fresno, and we'd like to help make it happen as soon as possible. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present tonight.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm here to represent the Board of Directors for the Southwest Community Development Corporation, here with Jack Robertson of Tableau Development Corporation. We, along with the Richmond Group, Tableau Development, TFS Investments, we're here to talk about our 106-unit, 106-unit partnership for 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units on a 5-acre parcel, requesting TCC funding of $14.7 million in addition to a match of $13.4 and a total budget of $28 million. Ann?
Thank you. So regarding benefits and impacts, we think there's several with this property. First and foremost, it's going to deliver 106 new units of quality, affordable workforce housing in Southwest Fresno. We also think it's going to accelerate a lot of off-site improvements in the neighborhood as well and be catalytic in that way with respect to public infrastructure, additional bike paths, and sidewalks and additional utilities. A key feature of our project, it's really a community-based effort. We're building capacity with a local community-based nonprofit with Southwest CDC, and we'll have an ownership component in this project as well. And secondly, another keystone feature of our development is that we're really looking not just to build this development here, but to build it with as many local residents and local subcontractors as possible. So we look forward to collaborating with apprenticeship training programs, so not only that we can maximize the number of people that will be living in the project from the general neighborhood, but also we can construct it with our local hands in the neighborhood. Regarding TC goals and criteria, We're going to reduce GHG emissions by building this housing site near transit. We are expecting that the bus routing will be newly coming by our site, and we'll also promote new transit and bike pedestrian paths. And all the residents who live in our development will have free transit vouchers as well. Again, it provides quality, affordable workforce housing for West Fresno, and economic opportunity for West Fresno. Can't emphasize that aspect enough. We really are looking forward to creating new business opportunities and jobs for West Fresno. With regard to readiness, there's several criteria that we need to meet, and we feel comfortable that we meet them all. We have site control. Our project approvals are in place. We will have our enforceable funding commitments ready to go, and all of our market study and financial analyses are in the works. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to close with Tiffany.
Thank you. Again, to emphasize what was really already reiterated, we really want to target this housing towards working families and working individuals who desire to live, continue to, and or move into the area. We do have some value-added benefits in that it empowers the local nonprofit, to continue to do some work and further investment in the community. It delivers new and quality housing, as well as it aligns with some of the new infrastructure that is going to go into Southwest. We also intend to continue some broader community conversations beyond tonight, beyond this process, to make sure that the community does have input into the final design and amenities of this property. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
I don't know why Tiffany's like not joining me. Preston Prince, CEO of the Fresno Housing Authority. I feel like Veruca Salt, right? I love everything we've seen. I want them all, and I want them now. All right, that's my Willy Wonka reference. So my name is Preston Prince. I'm the CEO of the Fresno Housing Authority. Really excited to be here with you tonight. The Housing Authority over the last 75 years has built up a track record of helping families achieve self-sufficiency and to be part of their communities. We are an active developer, and we're active in many ways. While I'm going to present on 2 proposals, we're part of at least 6 or 7 others. The Housing Authority is an active participant in many different ways on these projects. We are part of this process, deeply embedded within it. And I want to say that while we don't have a housing development for West Fresno, that we did submit an application or proposal for a planning grant that was kicked out for the TCC dollars. So we'll be coming back for a planning grant to do some housing development in West Fresno. So with that, I get to do this, huh? Wrong way. There we go. So we believe in downtown. We believe in what has happened with the general plan, with the rezoning of downtown, the opening of the mall. What we saw was a rezone that calls for 15-story building. We said we are going to go bold. So we are proposing a 15-story, 127 housing unit development. We're asking for $23 million of TCC. We have a match in hand of $31 million, a total project cost of $60 million. It is a high-quality housing development providing homes. It will have 9,000 square feet of commercial space. It does maximizes an underutilized property, recently rezoned for high density. It's close to downtown. There are 40,000 jobs in downtown. Many of those employees do not have high salaries. They are going to need affordable housing that's in close access for them, and so this really provides that housing. We believe in equitable housing development, and this project does promote equity and access and opportunity. The Housing Authority over the last 10 years has done 30 real estate deals, over $400 million of development, $300 million of construction. 27 jobs for every $1 million of construction. We've created almost 7,000 jobs in the last 10 years. We have the capacity to do this project. We meet the goals and criteria. I'm going to skip to the closing because I'm going to be hitting my time. That whole thing about don't give a mic to a politician or a pastor or a Preston, we talk too long. So we have capacity. We've done a lot of work in this community. We have the commitment. We believe in Fresno. We've been here 75 years. We'll be here another 75 years. It's about community. It's not just a roof over someone's head, but it's connecting people to employment, to health, to educational outcomes. And we have clarity. We have a vision for what can happen in downtown Fresno and what can happen with TCC dollars. With that, we are proposing a second development. This is at F and Mariposa, 1101 F Street. It's 4-story of housing, 3-story of housing over retail. So 57 units, 4,700 square feet of commercial space on 0.6 acres. We're asking for just under $11 million of TCC. We have a match of $11 million, so we are ready to go. Again, it's a high-quality apartment homes in Chinatown neighborhood with amenities. It is 2 blocks from the entrance of the high-speed rail on the west side. We really believe that both sides of the high-speed rail station are an entryway, right? And so we are proposing something that is 2 blocks on the west side. It does promote economic development and encourages pedestrian activity along the main Chinatown corridor. We are promoting equity and access to opportunity through the construction of affordable housing. We are doing GHG reductions through transit passes, bike racks, renewable energy, EV charging stations, and drought-tolerant landscaping. We are ready. CEQA environmental approvals in November. We have ownership of the, we have site control. Our market study will be complete soon. We have pro formas. I do want to say we've been working with cost estimators, so our pro formas are based both on our experience that we've had in the 30 real estate deals we've done, but it's also based upon cost estimating for the actual proposed projects. The financing commitments by November 15th, land use approvals early in November, and it is consistent with the no displacement. Again, it will be catalytic and bring high-quality workforce housing to Chinatown. And I just want to reiterate, the Housing Authority has the capacity. We have done 30 real estate deals here in Fresno in the last 10 years. We have the commitment. We are part of the fabric like Fresno City, not quite 100 years, but we're going to be here for another 100 years side by side with Fresno City. We are all about community, linking, again, housing to education, to health outcomes, to employment opportunities. We understand how to use the TCC dollars. We have a vision for what can happen with these dollars, and we're really excited to propose these projects. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Preston. You are our most succinct speaker. So. Next speaker.
That's because I didn't have my glasses and I couldn't read, or I didn't have them on.
Here we go. Hi, my name is Laura Gromes. I'm the Executive Director of USGBC Central California. We are a local 501c3 nonprofit organization that is focused on green buildings. We are part of the Equitable Transportation Coalition, a coalition supported by different community members within Southwest Fresno and the broader community of community stakeholders and experts. We are proposing the Southwest Fresno Green Trails Initiative. It is a placeholder project of building 1 to 2 miles of class 1 and 4 bike trails in Southwest Fresno That means those are bike trails that are either standalone bike trails with no access to another road or separated from the road by a barrier. These bike trails will connect approved TCC projects in Southwest Fresno with schools, parks, and public transportation access. We are asking for $5 million, and as I said, this will build about 1 to 2 miles. Connected to the bike trail project is also a workforce development and bicycle education project. Why this project? When we think back of the community meetings that we had right at the beginning where community input was asked for, the community was clear that they wanted to have green bike trails in Southwest Fresno. So this is what we are going to build. Active transportation is a backbone of any transformative climate community. The Class 1 and 4 bike trails will provide safe access to jobs, parks, schools, community centers, and further transportation opportunities. The trails will be lined with climate-appropriate trees and landscapes that are drought tolerant, which will reduce the heat island effect and serve as a carbon sink. As I mentioned, the project will be used as a workforce development opportunity, and USGBC and Voice have partnered up for workforce development around construction and maintenance and climate-appropriate landscaping. If you look at the TCC goals and criteria, building bike trails meets all the goals. It reduces greenhouse gas emissions, it improves public health and environmental benefits, and it expands economic opportunities. I want to stress that especially the aspect of physical activity will be very beneficial to the Southwest Fresno community and is very important to build sustainable communities. All the tracks that we are looking at are in the Southwest Fresno specific plan and in the City of Fresno active transportation plan. Planning and design of the project is included in the proposal and will take about 1 year to proceed, to complete. As closing, the Southwest Fresno Green Trails Initiative is a start to implement a wider bike trail system in Southwest Fresno. It increases connectivity, it's transformative, and it empowers residents along the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Well, that gets going. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Francisco Nunez. I am a project manager with Self-Help Enterprises, and we are a nonprofit public benefit company or corporation that's been doing various housing projects and other, and other sewer and water infrastructure projects throughout the valley for 50 years. Our project here that we're presenting today is the Annadale Mode Shift project, and what we're proposing is a transit subsidy program, including sidewalks and bike lane installation and construction to promote a transportation mode shift at our proposed senior housing project on Annadale Avenue. The project will install and construct 2,640 square feet of improvements along with the transit subsidy program. The ask is for $250,000 of TCC funds with a $100,000 matching fund from Self-Help Enterprises. And the project is scalable. Benefits and impacts. The project will allow us to connect certain gaps in the street that's existing now on Annadale Avenue between MLK to Elm Avenue. It will allow for safe walking and biking. This project will able to connect multiple community services as far as the proposed senior housing and also the services that are provided by the Clinica Sierra Vista adjacent to the site as well as the existing elementary schools and the Mary Ella Brown Community Center. Our project will also incentivize public transportation ridership as we will have resident services program that would promote the ridership of the public transit as far as also educating not only the residents of the proposed senior housing, but also the community at large. TCC goals and criteria. The goal of the project is to do a mode shift from vehicle miles traveled, which again produces greenhouse gases, to a more sustainable mode of transportation, which will be walking, biking, and transit ridership, which will reduce the vehicle miles traveled and the greenhouse gases produced. Readiness are the improvements that are proposed as far as the bike lanes and sidewalks would be constructed in conjunction with the proposed affordable senior housing. We have full control of the site. We have all our entitlements and CEQA in place through the city and are moving forward with the design and of the site and also the adjacent improvements.
1 minute.
The important thing is that we are asking for a total of 250,000 TCC funds, and with the leverage funds of 100,000 from Self-Help Enterprises, we will be able to leverage that for a total funding of $12 million with the associated senior housing project there. And to close, we are catalyzing a mode shift from vehicles to sustainable transportation as far as transit, walking, and bike riding. We're promoting a connectivity of the various elements in the community, and we're also leveraging the requested funds for a larger improvement of the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next speaker, and as the next speaker's coming up and we're switching the PowerPoint, I want us to do a TCC in-place mode shift break. No one leave the room because then we won't come back together. But I'm sitting down now. Everybody should stand up. Stand up. Mode shift. Everybody stand up. No sitting down. Turn around. Stretch. We're waiting for the next speaker. We're going to come up and do mode shift in active transportation, yes? Okay, next speakers are here. Okay. All right, thank you everybody so much for your perseverance. We're 2/3 of the way through. So if we could all grab our seats again, and now we're going to talk active transportation, and we're 2/3 of the way home. So please, everybody, please stay. The folks who are going later in the last third, it's not their fault, and they willingly took the later spots. So please stay through 10 more, and then we'll have a good time to talk and enjoy the presentations in the next room.
Are we ready?
Yep, so attention to the front, everybody.
After a break, that's hard to do. Good evening, everyone. My name is Terralyn Gray. I am the CEO of Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce, and we are presenting this evening with 8 partners to create a citywide clean shared mobility network to provide first and last mile service to our community through shared electric vehicles, bicycles at charging hubs throughout downtown Chinatown and Southwest Fresno. We will also be doing on-demand electric shuttle services at train stations, rural, urban, subsidized rides from EV drivers for accessing healthcare, education, and other social services. And lastly, we will be creating a transportation innovation center that focuses on mobility services accelerator that will be adjacent to the existing Amtrak station. This collaborative that you see right here was suggested by our dear sweet Danielle last Friday, and we've scurried to make this collaboration a reality. So the good news for you guys is we each had 4 minutes individually, and now we are collectively going to do one 10-minute presentation. So out of the gate, we are reducing carbon. So our partners are Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce, the Fresno Housing Authority, the Valley Latino Equity Advancement Project, also known as LEAP, Inspiration Transportation, Fresno State Transportation Institute, Shared Use Mobility Center, Stantec, our private operator, Oscar Robinson, where are you? And our last partner, which has yet to be named, is our private foundation that will administer the collaborative funds. We are seeking $4 to $6 million in TCC funding. And we have a match starting at $2.4 million, and we have a little plus behind that because our operator will bring a match as well, and it depends on what our final configuration is as to what that match will end up being. Is our project scalable? Absolutely it is. So we're going to move on. Brian, let's break down our presentation and tell our community what this means to them.
Sure. Thanks, Tara. And thanks, everyone. So electric shared mobility, this is a pretty new kind of practice, new technologies that are coming out. You know, what does it really mean to residents and business owners in downtown Southwest Chinatown, Fresno? Looking at these, are shared electric vehicles. This is really about car share. The idea here is that residents, business owners can become members, check out vehicles just when they need them to make a specific trip they might need to make. The idea here, Shared Use Mobility Center has rolled out car share programs in Los Angeles, Chicago, Buffalo, and other cities. What we see every time is that it reduces transportation costs for families. It maybe enables them to not buy that second car. So they've got their main vehicle, but they have other shared modes that they can use to get around. Similarly, with shared bicycles, these would be electric bicycles placed around the community to help folks make those kind of last connections. So maybe you're taking the bus into downtown, but you don't want to be stranded down there, without a car. You're going to need to get to different places downtown. The bike share, you can check out a bike with the same, card that you use to get the car share, and take the bike across town, right? Moving down a little bit, we're talking about on-demand EV shuttle services at train stations. One thing we've heard from the community, particularly lower-income folks from disadvantaged communities, when they're leaving town, they're taking Amtrak, they're taking the bus, they need to get to that depot. And it's difficult to access from some of our neighborhoods. Or when you get back from that trip, it's difficult to get back home. So these EV shuttle services on demand, you'd be able to either call a phone number, use an app, and get an EV shuttle down there to take you home when you need it.
5 minutes, you're at the midpoint.
Okay. Subsidized rides from EV drivers. So this component is with our partners Valley Leap. They have the Green Raiteros program. Mayor Ray Leon from Huron can't be here tonight, but he asked me to just give a quick description. This is volunteer drivers giving rides to largely farm workers in rural Fresno County to get down into downtown. And they're going to be doing it with electric vehicles. They're going to be able to charge when they get down here. Similarly, with Inspiration Transportation, they want to have drivers giving rides related to healthcare, getting teachers to work during commute hours and that sort of thing. And then finally, the Transportation Innovation Center. This all kind of comes together at an actual physical hub that would be built next to the Amtrak station. It would have the offices for all of these partners, all these services, as well as room for startups, room for bicycle repair, that type of thing, workshops, locker rooms. So all of this comes together and creates a system that can enable people to live well without owning that extra car. That's the idea behind it.
Yep, Matthew.
Thank you. So some of the benefits just from utilizing electric vehicles, as Brian mentioned some of them, the carbon footprint from production to utility is significantly less than gasoline-powered vehicles. Just reported last year by the American Lung Association, we actually have 4 of the most polluted areas are in the San Joaquin Valley, so we'll help reduce that. Also, I believe that exposure to new technologies will help inspire the next generations to utilize sustainable technologies and sort of start a mind shift of how we are in our communities around the area.
Okay, and very briefly, okay, so we're trying to work as a group to identify good locations. And the star you see is the Transit Innovation Center, which the Black Chamber will be running. And the clusters downtown are where we think there might be good opportunity to have a larger hub of these vehicles. And then the sites you see in Southwest are housing authority properties, which would be stations for smaller clusters of these cars.
So, the goals and the criteria, should I be flipping that forward? Yes, I should. So, this fulfills TCC objectives to reduce GHG emissions by shifting travel to cleaner EVs and reducing single occupant vehicle trips. That annual GHG reduction is approximately 3,000 tons, which is significant. It fulfills TCC objectives to promote public health by reducing emissions of toxic gases and particulate matter, improving lung and heart conditions, and is primarily focused on serving disadvantaged communities through a network with multiple convenient and low-cost transportation options. It fulfills TCC criteria for eligible project types, including D1, affordable housing and sustainable communities, as well as D5, low-carbon transportation and EV car share pilot. Lastly, it fulfills the TCC objective to expand economic opportunity by creating mobility jobs and improving access to job locations. Important point. Our proposed project supports the current 369,582 riders of Amtrak today. That was the number in 2016 in Fresno, plus the Greyhound ridership, and will work to serve high-speed rail in the future. Brian.
So with just a few seconds left, you can see these bullets here, but one point I wanted to call out was that we've created this model in collaboration with the private sector. So I want to allow Gustavo from Green Commuter to just say a little bit about his perspective operating a car share program and how this might work here.
Hi, Green Commuter is the name of our company, and we provide electric vehicle van pool in combination with car share. We have a successful operation in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, using electric vehicles, and we've seen the transformation in that small community. I think the key here on this particular project is the transformative component. We are going to be having car share for the community to use, when have shuttle services using electric vehicles, when have on-demand services, electric bike share. One thing that I wouldn't mention is electric van pools for the commute to work. We're going to be bringing 7-passenger all-electric vehicles, namely Tesla Model X vehicles for van pool. So all these array of mobility options are going to be put into service into the community at a very discounted rates, so we can actually, so the community can actually utilize all these vehicles. There's also an education and outreach component. We really want to bring this opportunity to everybody in the community to know about the project. The subsidies will help gain access to the services because they're going to be very low rates. And lastly, this will be really leapfrogging everything that is happening in the nation. This will put Fresno as a forefront of electric vehicle transportation and e-mobility as a whole. And lastly, part of the project is installing about 50 electric vehicle chargers, not just for this fleet of vehicles, but also for the general public. So we want to incentivize leasing and purchasing of electric vehicles, and there's some very good leases out there for electric vehicles. So I think it is very comprehensive. On top of that, job creation. So I think it checks all the boxes, and we're very excited to be a part of the project.
So you guys should close now?
Yes, we are. This is our class. I'm the last one. Okay, good evening, everyone. I just want to emphasize that how transportation is important for transformation climate community, because transportation is the second leading source for producing GHG, and by providing bike sharing, and shared mobility, we're trying to connect all transportation mode together. And as we increase mobility, we are hoping that people are buying and shopping more from local stores, and we're increasing the economic growth. And by for the area that we are emphasis in the downtown and southwest, because of the household vehicle ownership per household is so low, I think providing bike share would be a great alternative for them to go from A to B, and even we may increase the demand for transit and make them more efficient, and maybe increase the frequency of the service.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thank you very much. And it's a great example of what we want to do in TCC. So thank you for creating a collaboration in 3 days. So next speaker. Is that you, Craig? Oh, okay. You get the clicker? Somebody take the clicker with them?
Got to keep an eye on that group. All right, so I imagine that went something like this. Laura and Danielle said, who can we get to talk about streets? And so they gave me a call. My name is Craig Sharton. I am happy to advocate for this project. I work with the Downtown Fresno Partnership. A lot of the impetus for this TCC funds comes from the fact that we're getting the first high-speed rail station in the country, right? So we have to think about that. It's huge, right? So what are we going to do? Thanks, Kathy, for the boo. I haven't been booed in ages. What are we going to do if we have a high-speed rail station? We have to have all of the things around it fixed up and working. And that's what this project is about. And it also complements the Chinatown Complete Streets project that we're going to hear about in a minute. So if you've driven down Broadway trying to get into downtown, you know it's a dead end. If you come across Merced Street, it's a dead end. If you drive down what we call the H Street Freeway, you know that there's no sidewalks or improvements on that. And then also we know that we need a better connection between Southwest Chinatown and downtown on Tulare Street. So those are the main areas for this project. It's $30 million. There will be a match. We're asking that to be calculated by the time that we start voting next week, or estimated. And it's also scalable. So some pieces of it can give way, and we can still keep the integrity for the roads around the project. So think about the area around on the downtown side, the high-speed rail station, having those complete streets, but also if you've walked that area now, it's pretty rough, especially with some of the parking lots and those kinds of things around it. So this complete street is going to give us curbs, gutters, sidewalks, and especially those shade trees that we know we need. And we're going to have those bike lanes so that those folks that are doing bike share will be able to have somewhere to ride those bikes safely. So it fulfills the TCC goals of greenhouse gas emissions and transit access, mobility goals. But really, the main thing is that it's creating the multi connectivity in the high-speed rail station area. So readiness, we meet all of the criteria. This was a component that was actually built into TCC, so it was envisioned from the very beginning. It is part of the Fulton Corridor specific plan, so it's already been through CEQA and withstood multiple challenges. So all of the infrastructure has already been planned. It's had its community hearings, and it is environmentally ready to go. So we know that the infrastructure around the high-speed station is broken now. This is our opportunity to fix it. It's the perfect pot of money for it. We know that as we put in infrastructure, it is going to create developable parcels, which will lead to more businesses, more housing, more investment, and more jobs. Quite simply put, this is the project, along with the project you're going to hear after us, that completes the infrastructure around this landmark project that is going to transform our community, and that's high-speed rail. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. Next speaker.
Oh, I didn't do the slides, did I?
Someone else did for you magically. So thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. We're in the final stretch here, getting to some of the most important projects at the end.
Good evening. I'm Pastor Tate Hill of Bethel Temple Church. I'm also the general contractor.
And my name is Paul Hill. I'm one of the trustees with Bethel Temple.
The title of our type of project is Urban Greening of the Shaded Toddler Playground.
And the overall project is called the Clean Energy Park and Play. We are part of Early Readers Preschool and Bethel Temple.
Our implementers are Hills Construction, Early Readers Preschool, and Bethel Temple.
As you can see, we're located where the star is at. We're right next to 99 and walking distance of the high-speed rail, and right at the corner of Kern and C Street.
We intend to provide a 3,600 square foot shaded cover area with 2 play areas and a bathroom.
The TCC ask is approximately $50,000, only $50,000.
Our matching funds are $25,000.
So the total budget is $164. The gap or the discrepancy there is we do have some essential things that we also want to get funded, like playground equipment, fencing, the asphalt, et cetera, and we'll be seeking additional funds for those.
And our project is definitely scalable.
We have 5 primary benefits and impacts for this program.
The first one is it's going to be a shaded open space with planting.
This will be one of the only toddler playgrounds within Southwest. This won't be for the big 12th graders and 6th graders. This will be a toddler playground.
And this area will be made public by reservations, and it will be in a gated area.
The land is located in Southwest. The project is operated and owned by Southwest residents and business owners.
And of course, it's within walking distance to the high-speed rail, to Chinatown, the stadium, and biking, and the proposed State Community College.
Our TCC goals and criteria
will include increasing green open park space.
And we'll be reducing greenhouse gases by planting trees.
Next one. Yes, we are highly ready.
We are highly ready.
Yes, we are highly ready for this project.
We already own the property. Property is already owned, and we have site control.
Yes, and we have matching funds that have already been received recently by ERP's at ERP's location.
We've identified vendors.
Those vendors include vendors for the play area and equipment providers. And
we have blueprints that have already been, preliminary blueprints that have already been submitted to the city. You can see the grading has already been engineered and the playground is designed.
And our project will be completed within 6 months after permits and funding.
So in conclusion, again, this will be one of the only toddler parks within Southwest Fresno, very close to high-speed rail, Lincoln School, Food Max, down the street from KFC, Wendy's, one of the only toddler playgrounds. And we're within walking distance of Chinatown, the stadium, and the high-speed rail. Thank you. And we have 2 projects, and we're going to just transition right into
the next one.
the second.
And it is all still part of our clean energy park and play.
And if we could jump to, yes, the next one, 29. There we go. So Clean Energy Park and Play. This is a low-carb ride and share program.
And the applicants are, of course, Early Readers Preschool and Bethel Temple.
The implementer is going to be Hills Construction, Early Readers Preschool, and Bethel Temple.
And we're located right in the heart of Southwest Fresno, right there at 1224 Kern Street, right on the border of the freeway, Chinatown, all of those areas.
What we're going to have here is a solar-powered vehicle charging station. Solar-powered vehicle charging station. It will include 10 parking stalls, 4 chargers, at least one of which will be a rapid charger where you can charge your vehicle within an hour for 200 miles. We will also have 3 vans available for a ride and share program.
And our TCC funding ask is $420,000.
We have about a 50% match.
And the total budget of $623,000.
And we are scalable.
In our next area, our prime benefits include
we will be reducing greenhouse gases and help improving the environment, and also providing workforce education.
Our third element is that the land is located in Southwest Fresno, and the project is operated and owned by Southwest Fresno residents and business owners.
And the solar will help to power the preschool that will be attached to the park that we also have, and it will charge the vehicles for the ride share program.
And again, the walking distance to high-speed rail, Chinatown, the stadium, biking distance to FTCCC.
We meet all 3 of the TCC goals for this area.
The first one is that we are providing zero-emission electric vans.
We also will have the ride and share.
Also, we're going to be providing the access to the only public charging station in Southwest Fresno.
And we plan on making that charging station free of charge because it's going to be done through the solar panels.
And our third goal, we're providing opportunities to meet the criteria of offering workforce training for students and in the West Fresno area.
So we are highly ready. We have obtained the property. We have matching funds. We've already identified a vendor, AC Electric. We have planned for that. We've identified drivers for our ride and share program. We have a current contract and working relationship with CalWorks, and we can have this done in 6 months. Done in 6 months.
My name is Carla Hill, and I will be the site supervisor for Early Readers Preschool. We plan to enroll 30 children in our preschool. The bottom line is ERP. Our emphasis is to teach our children actually to read before they go to kindergarten. We know that early reading will move our children to the head of the classroom. You may ask, why early reading? Because 19% of high school graduates cannot read. And we want to have a powerful and positive impact on our children and our community by teaching them to read so they can be better prepared for their future.
So the concept here is that you can park your car at Bethel Temple. You can go to do different things within downtown, Chinatown, et cetera, and by the time you come back, your car will be charged and ready to go. And while you're there, you can let your kids play in the toddler playground. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Hello, everybody. I'm German Amesqua, Operations Manager for Univision Fresno. I'm going to be talking about the redesign of Mariposa Plaza, and I don't have a clicker. And I actually measured, and we are the closest project to high-speed rail. You can see it right there. The applicant for this is the City of Fresno, working together with community partners. Like I said, I'm with Univision. We're one of those partners, WRT, Urban Diversity Design, Fresno Arts Council, Fresno Art Museum, the Downtown Fresno Partnership, Creative Fresno, the Housing Authority, and Savak Cachadorian. The implementer is the City of Fresno. Project location is on the corner of Mariposa and Fulton Street. It's 1/4 of an acre. TC funding ask is $3.859 million. Matching fund is 0, but we are leveraging that with a grant that we received from the NEA with $320,000 and in-kind contributions. Total budget is $3.859. Project scalability, it isn't unless we close Mariposa Street and repave it. I don't want to do that. It was so much easier when I was doing it right there sitting down. Benefits and impacts. Create Fresno's outdoor living room. We have a lot of housing projects that are going to be done, and what a great place to go out and get some fresh air. Enhance downtown's primary cultural gathering space. Univision does 2 events every year, and we've been doing them at Mariposa Plaza for the past 2 decades. Cinco de Mayo and Fiestas Patrias are done there. This year we had to find, and last year we had to find different places since there's a little bit of construction going on downtown. We want to enhance downtown's primary cultural gathering space, strengthen community identity, provide an amenity for residents and workers. And it fulfills the TCC goals by increasing tree canopy, stimulating local economic development, reducing vehicle miles traveled, and it fulfills TCC criteria by improving intermodal connectivity between Chinatown, high-speed rail station, and BRT. Being in the Fulton Corridor specific plan, being vetted by community partners, and being located in a disadvantaged urban area. Readiness. We're ready. City has full site control. Artwork and installation is funded, like I said, by the NEA grant, and it's in progress, and it should be installed before the end of the year. CEQA is in progress and will be completed prior to installation, and the environmental site assessment is also in progress. And that's kind of a mock-up of the artwork that you're going to see at the Mariposa Plaza. Wow, I can slow down now. 1 minute. Mariposa Plaza will it brings people throughout the region together to celebrate, inspire, and be inspired. Again, Univision, we cover from Merced to Bakersfield. And when we do our events, I always talk to people, where are you coming from? And we get people from Los Banos, Modesto, Stockton, Merced, down to Calinga, Bakersfield, which is pretty awesome. Mariposa Plaza is going to improve overall public health and quality of life, creates an inviting community space for all, provides an amenity for surrounding residents, merchants, and workers. Thank you very much. Sorry. The 21st of October, I need to invite you to go and stand at Mariposa Plaza, where we'll be doing a ribbon cutting for Fulton Street.
Next speaker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Doizaki, and I have a confession to make that I love Chinatown. All right, this whole process that we're trying to do in Chinatown, has really, really brought the community together in such great ways that I am so happy to even be standing up here right now to present on, I guess, behalf of Chinatown. We have we have proposed something a little unique, I guess, from Fresno to Ventura, that would be F Street, and Kern Street and Mariposa from E to G, and China Alley from Tulare to Ventura. This is scalable, and we tried to include as many of the 17 blocks of Chinatown as possible, but the fact that this is scalable doesn't mean that we can do more. Some people in Chinatown have waited for so long, and I think if you see here, there's been Mariposa currently has a lack of trees. There's other places in Fresno that has a lack of trees. So the things that we're proposing is to, widen the sidewalks and put trees into Chinatown, like we see here that there's not. Lighting in Chinatown right now is currently, they call them like those Cobra lights that hang into the street that are 25 feet in the air, that really don't do anything for our sidewalks. And by putting pedestrian sidewalks that are maybe like 10 or 12 feet high, it's really going to not only put light onto the streets, but put light on the sidewalks to make Chinatown feel safe again, which I think it's been quite a long time since we can honestly say that Chinatown's been a safe place to go. Now, doing this is not just picking one project to pick one particular area in Chinatown to make it get better. This is trying to get everything in Chinatown. So almost all the 17 blocks in Chinatown will be affected by this in some way or another. Ramps and bulb outs and the alleys. We have a beautiful alley called China Alley that used to have businesses facing onto to the alley that we'd like to see, some catalytic dollars be put into there. I don't know if you guys know what parklets are, but parklets are, you guys should look it up. It's great. All right, so now this is definitely pedestrian friendly, and we are calling this like chat and chug, where chat stands for kind of the Chinatown active transportation, and the chug is the Chinatown urban greening. So chat and chug in Chinatown. And if you look at, please come to table number 31. Go there first, check out what Chinatown has on the display board, and you'll see some of the sections that we have. We kind of have it a little bit mapped out, I think a little bit better than what this tree shows. And we are ready. We definitely have the site control because this is Chinatown. And I've heard we want to start work on April 30th of next year. So this type of, I really hope this really happens. I know we have some closures coming up with high-speed rail with Tulare Street and Ventura and the closures of things. So to get this in as soon as possible is probably the best time to do it, to kind of not have so many years of construction. And in closing, I'd like to say that once again, I love Chinatown. We saw the community get together for the first time in a long time, to where I think we have a very good fighting chance to become a great place to go to. So thank you guys.
Okay, Project 32. Hi everyone, I'm Dan Zach with the City of Fresno. I'm going to tag team this one with Morgan. This is for a new park in Chinatown is what we're proposing. Chinatown Park is the name for now. It's about 2 acres. It would span across 2 city blocks along Mariposa Street. The project cost is estimated at about $12 million, and we're asking for the full cost as part of TCC. It is scalable. By the way, it spans 2 city blocks, and so you could always do one or the other if you had to. So this is an area in need. It's a disadvantaged neighborhood, and it doesn't have a lot of open space amenities. And so by adding a really nice open space, you not only get environmental impact benefits, but you also get economic benefits when you create a really nice place where people want to be. Businesses tend to come, more customers come, and we also see it being a factor in attracting residential development. And that's also good for businesses down in Chinatown when they have more customers living right nearby. So in terms of TCC goals and criteria, the vehicle mile traveled reduction is really big because Chinatown is a perfectly situated neighborhood. It's right next to downtown, major job center, right across the railroad tracks. It'll right at the front door of high-speed rail, great transit access. And so what all that means is every person that we can get to live, work, and play in Chinatown is going to be driving a lot less than your average Fresnan. And so that's really great for vehicle miles traveled. In addition to kind of conventional park benefits like extra tree cover and things like that. The intermodal connectivity possibilities are really big too. We see this as being sort of the welcome mat right out of high-speed rail. So this will go from the Chinatown entrance of high-speed rail right at G Street in Mariposa, and when you leave that station, you'll see this beautiful park, and that will be your welcome to Fresno and your welcome to Chinatown. And so that's going to leave a really great impression on visitors from throughout the state who happen to get off there. And so we think that'll be good for the whole city and for Chinatown in particular. It's also part of the Fulton Corridor Specific Plan, which was adopted last year. That's one of the criteria for being in TCC, and so it meets that criteria also. Environmental review is underway, and site control is not had yet, but we're working on that as we speak, notifying owners. And the environmental site assessment was complete, and actual remediation, cleanup of the site is in process and will be done by 2019, so the site is ready to build. And then with that, I'll hand it off to Morgan to bring us home.
Right. Sorry, Jeremy, but this looks like this is a project that's closer to high-speed rail than your Mariposa Plaza. It's the other side of Mariposa. Yes, the west side. Thank you. Okay, but so I heard site cleanup is not till 2019, or it's not going to be done till 2019. I know we've had some Chinatown discussions about what we want this park or plaza or something to look like, and we have until 2000. That gives us about a good year to secure us this funding and allow the Chinatown community to really give their input on what they want this park to look like, or a plaza, or let's think of another word that's not so, I guess, resident friendly to, because we have, let's face it, we have a homeless problem here in Chinatown. And we're not, and the residents in Chinatown right now, there's housing coming in right now, which I'm totally welcoming, but I know the Chinatown group has had some issues about some things, so this park and plaza or something that we really want, but we definitely would love to have a little bit of input on what it would look like, what it would feel like to give our identity into Chinatown, so we're proud of it, and that's all we're asking.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, we just have 4 speakers left, so please give them the last 4 your attention.
Which one's right? That's 4. Get me to mine. Well, good evening. Thank you for your patience in waiting for these. And we're so pleased to hear trees mentioned so many times tonight. I'm Lee Ayers with Tree Fresno, and we're pleased to present to you a proposal to improve the canopy in Southwest Fresno. With this proposal, knowing that things were cooking with the Chinatown area and the complete streets that Greg described, we're focusing on the area south and west of 99. That would include the downtown area, neighborhood, and the specific plan area for Southwest. We've lost a lot of street trees over the years, and because of funding restrictions, have not been able to replace them. So in effect, the canopy has dwindled, although some of the more mature trees have added to it. The other fact of life is that in many cases, street trees were not planted in front of a property. And so there's an opportunity to add to the canopy along the streets through replacing trees that have been lost, as well as adding where trees were never planted. Now that's the public side, and of course that's the side where we have site control. And of course this would be a partnership with the city of Fresno. The other opportunity is front yards. And as Tree Fresno looks at the opportunities to improve our canopy throughout the region, the private properties are the biggest opportunity. And we would like, through this program, to present the opportunity for private property owners to plant trees in their front yard. And it would be implemented in coordination with a project we have underway with a block grant program that would have a community landscapes plan and provide a palette of species and suggested species for different blocks. The opportunity, the timing of this is amazing. And I was at a presentation in Oakland where I heard the major tree contractors, Davey Tree, West Coast Arborists, and others, speak of the severe shortage of arboriculture technicians in the state as well as locally. And so we have immediate opportunity to put residents in Southwest Fresno to work if we can teach them the trade that can lead to a career in arboriculture, which pays pretty well. And so we've proposed as part of this project the recruitment, training, and placement of over 100 residents in arboriculture. There could be apprenticeship opportunities with the tree planting as well as placement with industry leaders. And we've talked to them. Thank you. Getting the 1-minute sign, I'll tell you that this does achieve objectives on greenhouse gas reduction and development of employment opportunities. We are ready. We've been in business for 32 years, and we have a network of capable partners. And we would also be able to leverage a program that the city of Fresno is now undertaking to inventory their complete tree inventory on parks and streets. And so we can follow along with that in the placement of trees. And to close, we think that this part of the community could get an edge. It could develop the most significant tree canopy in the whole city with what you have and what we could add through a tree planting program. And we know that lives would change if 100 people found a career and a well-paying profession like arboriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. Next speaker. Keep the clicker there. Leave the clicker. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Matot. I'm with Fresno Metro Ministry, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about a 7-acre urban greening project located on California, just between Fruit and West, right on the south side of the Yosemite Village apartment buildings. And this is the Yosemite Village Permaculture Garden and Farm Incubator. It's a pretty unique project. And as I've been listening to everybody talk tonight, it seems like there's a lot of potential to bring everybody together in this location. It's a resident-led project, community-led project. We're doing this in conjunction with Fresno Housing Authority, many other local partners. As I'm sure everybody knows, this area of Southwest Fresno is located in a pretty major USDA recognized food desert. And so what we're looking at doing here is providing the opportunity, the training, and the education in a 3-pronged area with a community garden for the residents that live right adjacent to the site, a center section which will have a small greenhouse, for some job training on landscaping, greenhouse management, seedling production. And then on the south end of the project, small farm plots to train some small farmers in a non-mechanical, no-till, no-spray method of agriculture. This whole thing is based on a lot of permaculture principles, which if you'll join me out there after this, we can get into that. It's a pretty amazing thing. This model has been shown to decrease water consumption by half, increase production by upwards of 10 times production. The site itself will contain things like an on-site farm stand. We have a resident committee within the area that has stressed that they want a space to be able to sell produce. They want job training opportunities, cooking and nutrition classes. The project, we like to call it a community carbon sink. So as far as the GHG reduction, it's a 7-acre space, mostly perennial plants, mixed in with all of the variety of vegetable stuff. We can definitely talk more about that carbon sink and how that works. But all those plants suck the carbon out of the air, sink it into the soil, and then use that to produce. Also, by having this site here with the farm stand and with all that vegetable production, will reduce vehicle miles traveled to the site. The site is located, back a little bit, it's located in the area and deeply community involved. As far as readiness goes, CEQA is not required for this. You can see up in the top there, that's a site plan rendering of the site. That's West Atchison. I don't know how familiar everybody is in that little area. The bottom one is an example of a community garden that we work with the city of Fresno on. We manage 7 acres on 3 garden sites with about 200 families in those 7 acres, producing a ton of food. We have site control. We've got clean soil tests. The health department has signed off on all of our soil tests, so we have good soil to grow in. As I said, we've got our site plans. We're finishing up the permitting process right now. We have a ton of community partnerships, and that's something else I want to talk about with this project, possibly right outside. And again, I mentioned our organizational experience. For the last 7 years, we've been helping folks grow and manage community gardens throughout Fresno. To close, what this project will do, it's going to increase healthy food access and nutrition education. It's a phenomenal leveraged community space. Many different folks can come in and use it for a lot of different things. Food-based entrepreneurial training, and people can come in and express their cultures on that. I'm going to go into my next one immediately because I've got 2 presentations. Okay, great, thank you. The next project is similar. This is located in Chinatown, right behind the Renaissance at Santa Clara housing complex, which is a permanent housing for formerly homeless folks, right over there by Poverello House, just north of Poverello House. There's a 2/3 of an acre lot right behind it that we're looking at putting a resident-based, for that complex, community garden in. Now, there's a lot of residents in that space that have previously been gardening over there. They've since ceased due to some potential issues with the soil. So what we're looking for here for our funding is to remediate that soil. There used to be a carpet factory in that area. So what we want to do is remove that soil, leverage the fact that there are folks that are really interested and active in that food production, that urban food production site, and put a permaculture garden in there for them to do, which will help them, of course, grow more fruits and vegetables. And because most of our programs and the work that we do is directly linked to each other, so across platforms, across programs, we're really interconnected. So these residents will also be accessing a lot of the same activities and things that we're doing at Yosemite Village, not too far apart, and a lot of that expertise and partnership can cross over there. It will improve environmental health and not just the residential health, but that space. There's not a whole lot there. We're right between the railroad tracks and 99. It's pretty. Anybody go hang out over there by Poverello? You should. All right, very good. Okay. Again, this would be a small, very unique green space in a neighborhood that doesn't have a whole lot of it. It's again a community carbon sink right there. Residents, it's located in the project area, pedestrian and transit accessible, is very close to all those points. Residents, let's see. We're not sure about the CEQA. We know for a fact we've conducted an EPA Brownsfield phase 2 on this, so we know that we cannot currently grow in it. So we need to remediate that soil, put clean soil in. We do have site control through our partnership with the Housing Authority. Again, many different community partnerships and the organizational experience. And the one that makes this one really kind of special is that resident expertise that's already there. Oops, one too far. So again, resident-led project, another one. We really find that a lot of our the community garden work has to be based with the residents. They have to actively be directing it and engaging it. It will benefit these formerly homeless populations as well as the surrounding area. These residents have opportunities to grow this produce, sell it back to other residents in the area or in that complex that aren't necessarily participating in the garden. Green oasis in an industrial area and increased food security. You can kind of see some of the things that we can do from an empty lot to a super green lot. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We may have one last speaker. Do we know that? Nope. So in a moment, I want to pass the mic to Danielle to bring us home. But first, I really want to thank all the proposers. I mean, what we just saw was the reason we've all been working together hard for months. An incredible array of projects that are going to be really hard to choose from, but that's why the work is well worth it, because now we actually have a wealth of projects, all with ties to the community, and we're in just the position we want to be, a position where we need to make a lot of hard choices. So here's Danielle to talk about the next steps and how we're going to make those choices.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, so thank you all so much. This has been incredible just for us as the process team to watch. As Steve said, we have in the ballpark of around $200 million of ask, and we have $70 million to spend. So this is going to be some hard work in the next few weeks to make those difficult choices. So a few next steps, we're going to be posting all of these PowerPoints on our website, so please check the website in the next day or so for those, so that you can go look at that, get more information. We'll also have the contact information for all of the proposers available, so you can reach out to them and ask any additional questions you have. Please show up to the next 2 steering committee meetings. They're the next 2 Wednesdays, so it's really we're in the middle of TCC Blitz time. So next Wednesday here, 5:30 p.m. It's our 4th steering committee meeting, and we'll be using that meeting to put together packages with the real projects. So if you guys were at our last steering committee, we did that with fake projects. Now we're doing it with the real thing. And so that will be a really important meeting, so please come. Lisa? Yes, we will be. Yeah, absolutely. Totally, those will, yes. And so then please make sure to also attend our 5th steering committee meeting, our last steering committee meeting, October 4th here, Westside Church of God, 5:30. That is the meeting where we make the decision about which package will move forward. So that's a really critical meeting. If you are a voter, and you would know that by checking the list that is on our website because you have attended a certain amount of meetings, make sure to check that list to maintain your voter status. Some of you that are voters, you're good to go. You just show up at the 5th meeting, you can vote. Some of you are voters, you need to attend both the 4th and the 5th steering committee meetings. So make sure you check the list to know how many meetings you still need to attend in order to vote. With that, thank you all. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, Artie. I almost forgot. Tomorrow night is a second project review day that will be hosted by Southwest Community Development Corporation and Every Neighborhood Partnership. Same time, 5:30, same place. It's right here, and it's another opportunity to get more information from our proposers about the projects and make sure that you guys all have a chance to talk to everyone and see what's going on.